We don't need to worry about what's happening around us. That's like the wind blowing. Instead, let's focus on changing what's going on inside us. We can learn from our own experiences. Think about any mistakes you made recently. How can you avoid them in the future? Also, take a look back at the past year. Did you make good choices or bad ones? Let's use what we've learned to make better decisions in the year to come. When I first met Mr. Schoff, he asked me, "Mr. Rohn, how are you doing? You've been out there now for 6 years." I admitted I wasn't doing well, and he advised me to stop what I was doing. He promptly assessed my situation and cautioned that if I carried on, the next 6 years would be much the same as the last 6. He suggested we should avoid that by making changes. So, let's take heed of our experiences. Mr. Schoff shared some life-changing ideas with me when I was 25. Initially, I made excuses for why things weren't going well. When he asked about my situation, I confessed to struggling with bills, having very little money, and nothing in the bank. I felt ashamed for not keeping the promises I made to my family. Then he said something that truly altered my life forever. He told me, "Mr. Rohn, if you want your future to be different, you have to change." He warned that if I didn't change, the next 6 years would be just like the last 6, still behind on promises and bills. He gave me this advice as a promise when I was 25, and I've held on to it ever since. Over the past 30+ years, I've shared this promise with over 3 million people, and it can be valuable for you too. Pay close attention to this promise. My teacher said to me, "Young man, if you will change, everything will change for you. If you will get better, everything will get better for you." What a clear message that was for me. He told me if you adjust how you think, change your habits, and refine your ideas, and if you embrace new routines, if you shift away from your past and aim for a new life in the future, then amazing things will happen for you if you make these changes. Before I met Mr. Schoff, I used to wish for things to improve. I hoped the government tax rules would change, my boss would pay me more, and there would be economic improvements with lower prices and better circumstances. However, my teacher told me that these things would likely remain the same. He explained that the events in our lives are like the wind that blows, affecting us all. Particularly in America, over the last 6,000 years of recorded history, we've enjoyed the most favorable conditions, living in a free country with economic opportunities and democratic freedoms. Though we've faced struggles in the past, compared to the rest of the world's history, we've had the best conditions. But just letting the wind blow won't take us where we want to go. We all need to use the opportunities around us to chase our dreams, to the money we want, to the equities we want, and to all the things we want our life to have in the future. This is where we should go. And we've got a good wind, but we can't rely on luck, just to the structure, or just to the economy, or the way things are happening today. Here's what we must learn to do, and that is set a good sail in the beginning. My teacher told me something important. He said, "Mr. Rohn, things will happen, like politics and the economy doing their own thing. Whatever comes our way, that's how it is. What you need to understand is not to hope for a different situation. That's not realistic. Instead, aim for the knowledge, skills, and wisdom to handle things better, so that you can set a better sail." And so that's what I did. At age 25, I didn't go to work to fix the economy or the community. Changing the government, my boss, or the company wasn't my goal. I wasn't trying to change the situation. I went to work to change myself. I remember the promise my teacher made to me. If I change, my bank account will change, my income will change, and the future would change too. And it really happened, just like he said. During the first 6 years of my financial journey, I ended up with no money, just a few pennies, nothing in the bank, and I couldn't fulfill my promises to my family. However, in the following 6 years, things changed, and I became wealthy. Surprisingly, Despite the government, the economy, and the company staying pretty much the same during that time, and my surroundings and negative relatives remaining unchanged, I changed. My teacher, Mr. Shoaf, initially focused on money when discussing personal growth. Money isn't the sole focus of personal development, but it's where he began. Let me share the most crucial lesson on money here. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. That's essentially how economics works. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Now, it takes time to offer something valuable to others in the marketplace, but we don't earn money just for time. So let's forget about that idea. Some people might say, I get $20 for an hour of work. But that's not right. If it were true, you could just stay home, right, and have them send you money. But that's not how it works. We don't get paid for the time, we get paid for the value we bring to the marketplace. So now, can you become more valuable to the marketplace and make more money in the same amount of time? Yes, it's possible. Can you become even more valuable and earn even more money 3 times, 5 times, or 10 times as much? And the answer is yes. 5 times, 10 times, of course. America is unique. It starts from a low point, like earning $5 an hour, and goes up. The highest income last year was $80 million for a person who runs Coca-Cola. That's a really impressive ladder, and that's why everyone wants to come to America. People aren't trying to go to other places like Vietnam or Poland for a better life. Everyone wants to come to America because we have a great opportunity here. We have the best economic chance that anyone has had in over 6,000 years. All you have to do is understand it and make the most of it. Now, there are some key questions to ask here. Why does the marketplace only pay someone $5 an hour? The answer is straightforward. It's because they're not perceived as very valuable to the marketplace. It's essential to recognize that this individual may hold value in other aspects of life, such as being a caring brother, family member, church member, or citizen of the country. In the eyes of God, undoubtedly, we are all equally valuable. However, in the marketplace, if you're not seen as valuable, you won't earn much money. You might say, it shouldn't be like this. Well, then you'd have to start your own country. This one has been evolving for 200 years, and this is the best we've achieved so far. But here's the key. You don't have to remain in this situation. You're not trapped here. As you begin to climb the ladder, why does the marketplace pay some individuals $50 an hour? It appears they're perceived as more valuable, perhaps 10 times more valuable. Can someone really be 10 times more valuable and earn $50 an hour instead of 5? Yes, that's entirely possible. That's the essence of America. Now, why would the marketplace pay some people $500 an hour? This person must be truly valuable to the marketplace. It's crucial to grasp this concept. Would the marketplace pay someone $80 million for a year's work? Absolutely. If you played a significant role in helping a company generate £1 billion, they might indeed pay you $80 million. It's entirely achievable. That's what makes America so exciting. And that's why this financial ladder is so thrilling. It's possible for all these aspirations to come true for everyone, regardless of where you start, whether you're a student or just beginning your career. This is all possible for you. Mr. Shoaf shared with me the secret to climb this ladder as high as I want. We're mostly talking about money here, but there are many other ways to be valuable to your family, friends, community, and team. What he told me about climbing the economic ladder is simple. All you have to do is work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Once I heard that, it made sense to me. I kept hoping that everything else would change around me, but I learned that if I focused on improving myself, my skills will improve, language and abilities will grow. Each year, I become more appealing to the marketplace. I think it's every person's heritage, especially in America, to become financially independent. And let me give you my definition of financial independence. Financial independence means being able to live off the money you make from your own resources. It depends on how you want to live, whether you need a few thousand a month or several thousand or even tens of thousands. Some people might need $1,000 a month, but the idea is that you can cover your living expenses with the money you earn from your own resources. That's what I call financial freedom, financial independence. And let me show you how to acquire that. If you start at the age of 15, between 15 and 35 is 20 years, and in my view, based on my studies and experience, that's enough time to become financially independent. If you're not, it's probably not about living in the wrong country. Most likely it's having the wrong plan. It's easy to be a good person with the wrong plan. When I was 25, I was broke, but I was a nice guy. I changed my plans in the next 6 years, especially my financial plan, and became financially independent. So I know what I'm talking about. It is possible in a reasonable amount of time to become financially independent. 15 to 35, whatever, 20 years, time enough. You can actually do it faster, like I did if you want. But this is a reasonable time frame. First and foremost, you need the right philosophy. Philosophy involves determining what knowledge is important and making wise decisions. Develop a philosophy about life, health, family, relationships, and money. With the right philosophy, it's like setting your sail so that in a short time, say 6 years, you can reach your destination instead of ending up where I did in my first 6 years, broke, with no money and an empty bank account. Let me share a couple of mindsets with you. The first one is the philosophy of the poor. Poor people often spend their money first and invest whatever is left. That's the poor mindset. Now, here's the rich mindset. Rich people invest their money first and spend what's left. And here's the surprising part. It doesn't really matter how much money. What matters most is not the amount. What's really important is the philosophy. So, I urge you to adopt this philosophy of investing before spending. I have a simple formula to share, and I assure you, even if you're starting at age 15, you still have plenty of time. If you're older, like 30, you still have a good 20 years ahead. So, there's plenty of time to get started. Let me tell you what to do with your money. Here's my first piece of advice. Never spend more than 70 cents. Now, you need to choose a number, and the number you pick depends on your philosophy. It's determined by what you've been taught or your own experiences. When I first met Mr. Schoff, I was spending about 110% of each pound. You know, I was living hand to mouth, with my furniture in my car. Then I learned a whole new formula for financial independence. Now kids say to me, well, what about the other 30 cents? Here's what I tell them. Give 10 cents to charity or the church, helping people who can't help themselves. Another 10 cents for supporting projects that you believe in and feel good about. Allocate 10 cents out of every dollar to be generous with part of what you've earned from society. Now, in my opinion, generosity is the best teacher for building character. No class, teacher, or book is as good at teaching character as generosity. The ideal time to begin is when the amounts are small. I believe that if kids learn these lessons early, they'll willingly give a dime out of every dollar to help those in need, support worthwhile projects, or if they belong to a church, they teach tithing. The piece of that's very important. When the amounts get bigger, it can be a bit challenging. For instance, giving a 100,000 out of a million might not seem like a lot to some people. So it's better to start when the amounts are small, like 10 cents out of every dollar. Okay, next, 10 cents. I call it active capital. Active capital means doing something to earn money. Save a part of what you make. Wages are fine, but remember, wages will make you a living. Profits will make you a fortune. So save some of your income as active capital for any project you can think of. Even setting aside 10 cents from the money you earn can be a start. You typically can't begin earning wages until you're around 15 or 16, but you can start making a profit well before that. Unlike wages, there's no limit to how much profits can grow. They can double, triple, quadruple, and more. Profits are way better than wages. Wages make you a living, profits make you a fortune. Now, the third 10 cents is vitally important. I call it passive capital. You give your money to someone else to use in things like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. They use it to make money, and in return they pay you for letting them use it. This payment is called interest. This is one way to become financially independent quite quickly, and that's called compound interest. And this is how you get it, allowing someone else to use a part of what you have. They make a profit, and they pay you interest. This passive capital, if you follow this plan of 10, 10, 10, and 70, especially starting at age 15, I'm telling you, by the time you're 35, you'll be financially independent. You'll have the ability to live off the money you make from your own resources. And then, one more point on passive capital. There's a lesson from the Bible that says, the person who borrows money is like a servant to the one who lends it. If you want to be in a strong position as you get older, especially when you become mature, maybe owning your own business and having a secure future, the best position to be in is the powerful one, which is called the lender. Being the lender puts you in a powerful position. So, if kids learn this early on, when you ask them what they want to be when they grow up, they might say, well, one thing I want to be is a lender. That's the power position, not the spender. Being just a spender might make people feel sorry for you throughout your life. You should aim to be a lender. And here's a simple formula. Set aside 10 cents out of every dollar, let someone else use it, be the lender, the powerful one. Then, try to make a profit. Can't we teach our children to take $1? Look around the neighborhood? Find a broken wagon? Buy it for $1? Bring it home? Clean it up? Paint it until it's shiny? Fix the wheels? And sell it back to the neighborhood for $5. Anyone can do that. Now, does the child deserve $4 profit? Yes, it's possible. Society now has a fixed wagon, and that's what America is all about. Finding something, improving it, making a profit. Using some of your money to help those who can't help themselves, let others use it to make a profit. Some projects need more money than one person has, and then let them pay you for using it. I hope that simple formula helps you.